welcome to my channel. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. You know, I wasn't always the superstitious type. I grew up hearing all the ghost stories from my parents and the elders in the Hmong community, but I always brushed them off as just that, stories. You'd hear about spirits following you home or ghosts playing tricks on you, but I'd just laugh and go about my life. That was until, well, something happened to me. And let me tell you, ever since that night, I don't laugh anymore. It was a Friday night in the middle of spring. You know how it is around here, cool nights, the kind where you can sit outside with just a hoodie and feel comfortable. My friends and I had this thing where we'd meet up at this park on the edge of town, just hanging out, talking about life and cracking jokes. This particular park wasn't anything special. It was just a small playground with some picnic tables and a basketball court. The only thing weird about it was the woods behind it. Thick, dark, and quiet. Like, way too quiet. No matter what time of day, you wouldn't hear birds or squirrels or anything coming from those trees. That night, it was just me and my buddy Tommy. The rest of the guys flaked. And honestly, I was fine with that. Tommy's the kind of guy you can talk to for hours without even realizing how much time has passed. We were just chilling, sitting on the hood of my car, looking up at the stars and talking about dumb stuff. At some point, Tommy started telling me this story about his uncle seeing spirit, a ghost. He said it followed his uncle home after a hunting trip in the woods. He even claimed his uncle got sick for weeks after because the spirit was draining his energy. I just laughed and shook my head. Man, that's just old people trying to scare us, I said, brushing it off. Tommy gave me this look though, you know, that serious look people give when they know something you don't. I'm just saying, he muttered, the spirits are out there, bro. You just don't know until you see one. We laughed it off, but the vibe felt different now. The air got colder too, like someone turned on a freezer. I pulled my hoodie tighter and looked out toward the woods. That's when I noticed something, just barely. At first I thought it was a trick of the light or maybe my eyes playing games, but I swear I saw a figure standing at the edge of the trees. It wasn't moving, just standing there. I squinted, trying to get a better look, but it was too dark to see anything clearly. Hey Tommy, I said, nudging him. You see that? He followed my gaze, but by the time he looked, the figure was gone. He gave me this skeptical side eye. See what? You tripping, man? But I know what I saw. I shook it off and tried to play it cool. Nah, never mind. It's nothing. We kept talking, but I couldn't get rid of the feeling that something was off. You know that feeling when someone's staring at you? That's what it felt like. Except it wasn't Tommy. It was something else. I tried to ignore it, but my eyes kept darting back to the woods. And then I saw it again, this time closer. The figure? It was standing just past the basketball court now, barely lit by the dim streetlights. Okay, now you see that, right? I said, my voice cracking a little. Tommy turned to look, and this time, he saw it too. His face went pale. What the hell? He whispered. The figure didn't move. It just stood there, motionless, like it was waiting for something. I couldn't make out any details, but I could tell it was tall with long, flowing hair. It looked like a woman, but something about her was wrong. Her arms were too long, like they stretched down to her knees, and even from that distance, I could feel her eyes on me. Not on Tommy, just me. Let's get out of here, Tommy said, his voice nervous. I nodded, hopping off the car and fumbling with my keys. But as soon as I unlocked the door, the figure started moving fast. 1 second she was by the court, and the next she was halfway across the parking lot. I swear I've never moved so fast in my life. We jumped into the car, and I slammed the door shut, locking it right away. Tommy was yelling at me to start the car, but my hands were shaking so bad I couldn't get the key into the ignition. Then, out of nowhere, she was right there, standing in front of the car. I couldn't see her face, but I could feel her staring at me. My chest felt heavy, like something was sitting on it. Tommy was screaming, "Drive, just go!" But I couldn't move. I was frozen, locked in place by this presence, and then she smiled. I'll never forget that smile. It was too wide, stretching across her face like her skin was tearing. Her teeth were wrong and way too many to fit in her normal mouth. She raised one of those impossibly long arms and pointed at me, her fingers crooked and bony. And then, just like that, she was gone. I don't even remember starting the car. All I know is that 1 second we were in the parking lot, and the next, we were speeding down the road. Tommy was yelling something, but I couldn't hear him over the sound of my own heartbeat. I didn't stop driving until I reached my driveway. When we finally got out of the car, we just stood there, staring at each other, trying to process what the hell just happened. Tommy refused to talk about it after that night. Anytime I brought it up, he'd just shake his head and say, just don't. I couldn't stop thinking about her though. That smile, those eyes, the way she pointed at me, it haunted me. A few weeks later, I started getting sick. Nothing serious at first, just feeling tired all the time, but it got worse. I'd wake up in the middle of the night drenched in sweat, with the feeling that someone was standing in the corner of my room. Sometimes I'd hear whispers, faint and distant, like someone calling my name. One night, I couldn't take it anymore. I went to see a shaman. I told him everything about the woman, about the sickness, about the whispers. He didn't say much, just nodded and listened. When I finished, he told me what I saw wasn't just a ghost. It was the kind of spirit that feeds on fear and takes pieces of your soul. He performed a ritual for me, burning incense and chanting ancient songs. He told me to stay away from the park and to always carry a piece of silver with me for protection. I don't know if it was the ritual or the silver, but the sickness went away after that. The whispers stopped, and I finally felt like I could breathe again. I haven't been back to that park since. I avoid it like the plague. And now, whenever I hear someone say they don't believe in ghosts, I just smile and shake my head. Because I know the truth, they're real. And sometimes they're not just trying to scare you. Sometimes they're trying to take you. Thank you for listening to this video. I'll see you in the next one.